Good
everybody.
afternoon, Tanishi kalra.
Yes, sir.
Tanishi, you are from Uttar Pradesh, but before we start, can you just take a minute to describe who is Tanishi kalra?
Sure, sir. Sir, I was born and brought up in Agra. After that, I did my bachelor's and master's in economics from SRCC and JNU. After that, I got into the preparation, and I also taught in Delhi University as a faculty, guest faculty for a while. And I think I'm a person who likes to welcome life with an open mind and explore new dimensions. And in that sense, in my assessment, I'm a problem solver.
Okay, Tanishi, you have done graduation from Shriram College of Commerce, and then you have taught into which college?
I was teaching in PGDAV College.
PGDAV College. Okay, now don't you think that it's a proposition that the state of higher learning in India in general and Delhi in particular is not really seeing the growth as many of us had seen in earlier times. Now many of the buildings, the Delhi University campus, as you go, St. Stephen's, they are beautiful colleges, they are in shambles. The buildings are crumbling down, they are the syllabus are not really being revised, and what the Delhi University had in the earlier times, they are one of the best universities not only in India but they are in the world. So that is taking a bit of a beating nowadays, and they are most of the reason is they are not keeping in touch with the times. Do you agree with this? In this so-called the realistic the fact check of this Delhi University and the universities? Maybe this applies to maybe the JNU also, but mostly for Delhi University. Do you agree with this?
Sure, sir. Sir, with changing times, there has been a change. However, even Delhi University is trying to adapt and be flexible with respect to its curriculum, with respect to increase in infrastructure. Yes, some amount of capex, that is a huge part of the spending, goes there. Therefore, the allocation is different, but the dynamism and the growth, that is still taking place, sir.
Now, the reason that why I am saying that there are bright students who should have been in academics, they are the Shriram College of Commerce and JNU, they are coming to this bureaucratic line. So don't you think that the young and fresh minds should have been in teaching, research, higher research, and in such prestigious places of learning rather than coming in for these bureaucratic jobs? So don't think that this justifies what I am saying.
Sure, sir. So it's a matter of the individual's interest and what they feel they can do the best. And with respect to research, yes, a lot of students in my class, they did go for research. For me, it was a matter of choice, and I thought that my skills could be better utilized because I found here a very dynamic and a larger scale platform which gave me a thrill to contribute.
My last question is, you are from Agra, which means Western Uttar Pradesh. Now, don't you think that there has been, the UP is booming, all the infrastructure, the Jebari Airport, the East-West corridors, the everything, Kumbh Mela is being Mahakumbh, which is the AI, first time in the history of India at least, AI regulated, so many footfalls, crores and crores, all these are happening but no job. People are leaving UP in drabs. Even for a small level jobs, low level jobs, they are migrating for UP. Don't you think there is a kind of dichotomy in the developmental paradigm in UP?
Sure, sir.
And suppose you are given a position of power in UP, what will be your focus areas to right this wrong, so-called wrong, quote unquote?
Sure, sir. Sir, with respect to the development and jobs, the labor abundance that is there in India, we need labor abundance, we need labor intensive jobs. So agriculture and manufacturing could be those areas. Now, when it comes to Siddharth Nagar, there the there's this rice, kala namak rice, which is famous by the Buddha rice. So through such products, not only the district is booming, but agriculture, which is the mainstay and the reason for lack of development, that is also growing. So I will initiate such products, and wonderful schemes are already in line, be it one district, one product. UP has the highest number of MSMEs, and now Jewar airport is also coming up. That will also create jobs. So some amount of innovation there, where we can pull up agriculture and manufacturing, and the rest taking the schemes in a better implementation way, that can create jobs and address the issue better.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
वीडियो में आगे बढ़ने से पहले यूपीएससी का रिजल्ट आ चुका है। अनअकैडमी की तरफ से सभी यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स को हार्दिक बधाइयां, और इस खास दिन को सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए हम लाए हैं अब तक का सबसे बड़ा ऑफर। प्रीलिम्स 2026 की तैयारी सिर्फ 19,999 में, और साथ ही मिलेगा 12 महीने तक का फ्री एक्सटेंशन भी। इंडिया के टॉप एजुकेटर्स और बेस्ट कंटेंट के साथ ये है अब तक का लोवेस्ट प्राइस। तो देर किस बात की, आज ही एनरोल करें। IAS बनने का पहला कदम आज से। लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है। एनरोल नाउ।
Tanishi, I'm glad to know that you have chosen IFS as your first choice. Is that a correct decision taken by you, or someone misled you, or what do you think? You know which service runs the country?
Sure, sir.
Which service?
So IAS.
And every candidate that we see, they want IAS first. So why have you done like this? What's your reason?
Sure, sir. Sir, on the basis of my self-assessment, I thought that my skills when it comes to solving problems, analytical thinking and policy research, that would be better utilized. And when I gave MUNs, that was a wonderful platform to see how it really, in a small way, not the exact things, because MUNs are done in a school way, in a very small institutionalized way. I got a good thrill there. Similarly, I want to take the cultural diplomacy of India forward, because that is a legacy where there is a lot of potential. And I want to leave a footprint and on the macro scale. So taking things on a larger scale in multidimensional sense, that gives me a huge boost. So in that sense, I wanted to choose.
Good. I'm glad you are giving all these very convincing answers. Moving on, you are basically a good student of economics, although you also studied in Delhi University, Sriram College of Commerce, BA Honours. So that was commerce?
Economics.
Economics, okay. What is known as Washington Consensus?
Sure, sir. Sir, it was the wind of the world where the market-driven forces were dominating, and that was giving push to liberalization and trade.
So is that consensus is still valid? Do the rest of the world still swear by Washington Consensus or no?
So there have been different winds after that. There was Beijing Consensus. There was one more thing. I'm not able to recheck that. I'm sorry. I'll definitely recheck that.
Okay. Now, there has been a growth of left-wing politics, at least in the American continent, except US. Whether it's Brazil or Argentina, many of them are not necessarily pursuing Washington Consensus, which was prescription of the use of capital for development and distribution. Is there a major flaw in the Washington Consensus that while the growth may take place, but distribution does not take place? Equality of opportunity is not there, because those who already have capital are heavily loaded as against those who don't. Do you agree?
Sir, market forces by the price factors, they allocate the resources in a way where efficiency is maximized. So in that sense, inequality is exacerbated. And these countries where development is not at such a great stage and the endowments of the country are not very enriched, and there is some amount of poverty, these issues, inequality, they get even more exacerbated. So there is a need of welfare measure, there is a need for some amount of other external measures which go beyond efficiency.
Okay, I got your point. Moving on, in the same continuation, same stream, Bernie Sanders is a very famous senator, known to be strong on the left views. There is a social media moving of 2 minutes where he describes that Elon Musk itself in 1 month of December raised his entire asset by 100 billion. And he has poured 277 million in Trump's victory and is now moving towards Germany. So even UK, he wants a re-election. So the capital seems to be moving to secure itself politically as well as economically. Economically, there is no challenge. They are happily moving and increasing their asset value and investments. Even now, they are playing a game in the political arena. Now, you think this was expected all along, or it is something new that is being practiced?
Sir, if I'm able to interpret your question correctly, it means that the movement of the capital, that having the interrelationship with politics, is that a new wind, or is it something that has been happening?
Yes, yes. I wanted you to tell me if that is correct.
Sure, sir. Sure. Sir, the landscape is such that economics and politics have generally been related. So when there is an economic slowdown, then sometimes we see political instability also, as it is happening in France. And now when economics is moving, so politics kind of draws the wind and the things kind of go hand in hand. So this is a phenomena that has happened quite before also. Just that the dimension, the players, the actors, they change, the narratives kind of change. But the intermingling and they going together is a thing.
Okay, so just to conclude, although you need to read more on this.
Sure, sir.
Democracy, one person, one vote. Kind of an equal distribution of the political power among the people who vote. In this case, a rich person seems to acquire disproportionate large amount of political power because of his capital. So there is a distortion in the political game that is played, or what political process. But you need to read more on this.
Definitely,
this is a
sir.
Topic which is very...
Definitely, sir.
You have done extremely well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Tanishi, you have done your economics from Sri Ram College of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter also you have pursued it.
Yes,
And the
sir.
profession also. You know. So in the present day context, this line becomes more relevant, that good politics is bad economics. Is it true in the Indian context?
Sir, it might look at the outset that it is true, but the intention is always to take both these wins at a positive side, and if at all some discrepancies do happen, the larger goal is always for welfare and taking the development and the public together in greater hands.
Okay, that's a neutral stand, safe stand. But going by what is happening in some of the states, or even for the central, do you think that is the right kind of policy which is following? Is it a populist measure, or it is really for the welfare of it? What do you require for fulfilling these promises? Extra revenue.
Sure, sir.
So what effort is on the part of the revenue generation?
Sure, sir. Sir, to increase, when the expenditure is increasing, we need some extra taxes and we need some non-tax receipts also. Sometimes it does go on the side of deficit. However, the larger game, the larger run, in the larger run scenario...
I'm just interrupting you. As an economist, if you have to suggest to have a balance of these two, what will be your suggestion? What will be your prescription as a neutral person?
Sure, sir. Sir, it is the government spending that takes the country forward. So, and this golden rule of capital spending mandates to spend it on capital expenditures, which has multiplier effects. So if some amount of balance can be created with the current expenditure and the larger run, that can again give a positive feedback loop.
So some of the measures which can generate revenue.
I couldn't hear you, sorry, sir.
Some of the measures which can generate revenue,
Yes.
so that revenue can be deployed for the welfare activities. At the same time, that revenue can also be deployed for the infrastructure development, reinvestment, etc., which will provide employment, etc., as the welfare measures. In the field of revenue collection, there is a difference between a tax buoyancy and the tax growth rate.
Yes, sir.
So what is the difference? Which is the correct parameters of the health of the economy?
Sir, tax buoyancy is the tax revenue with respect to the GDP, and tax growth rate is the consecutive change in the growth rate over the year. I think, sir, both are needed. With respect to my limited knowledge, I think both are needed. Because if tax is not buoyant, however, if it is increasing, then that is not a definitive sign if
yes,
GDP...
that's right. Tax buoyancy is basically with reference to the GDP.
Yes, sir.
That if the GDP is rising and the tax revenue is also rising without increase in tax rate, that means it's a healthy economy.
Yes, sir.
That means the structure of the tax is in place.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that is what tax requires. You as an economics student, I mean, if somebody is just a simple graduate, he can go away with yes, that tax rate is there. But if you are an economics student, this difference may be relevant.
Sure, sir.
Relevant
Sure,
for you.
sure, sir.
Okay.
Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Now, coming back on the international front, that Rupee is getting devalued. Rupee
Yes,
is
sir.
getting devalued. In the last year, they to hue and cry that it has considerably fallen down.
Yes,
So
sir.
what is the impact on the economy? Do you think that is a healthy thing or it's something which is avoidable?
Sir, when rupee depreciates, firstly, the forex reserves, sometimes they have to come up to balance the depreciation. So that loss sometimes creates some fallen buffer, firstly. Secondly, that also indicates that the other currencies are increasing. So in that sense, some amount of uncertainties are created and capital outflows happen. However, in the longer run, sometimes the J curve also operates and exports can also increase. So it's a matter of us boosting our competitiveness. If we take this wind positively, gains can be made.
In a layman's language, what does it mean that the rupee has been devalued? Why devaluation take place?
So devaluation takes place...
I said in some common, simple language.
Sure, sir. I'm
Not-
sorry, sir. Yes, sir. So devaluation takes place when import is greater than export. So the demand for external currency is a lot. Therefore, there is a pressure. So demand increases for dollar and therefore exchange rate increases. Sometimes foreign, the capital, the outflows happen. In that sense also, the other economies' capital becomes more attractive. Therefore, FII's outflow also happen. Therefore, again, demand on dollar increases. Therefore, again, depreciation.
Fine. Coming back to your hobbies, you have been recently you have finished your education, and now you have been a mentor also. So, some of the deficiency which you have found out while you were studying, how did you manage to cover up while you were yourself providing education to the students?
Sure, sir. So I'm a kind of a person who doesn't start from zero, rather it's a negative. So I need a lot of guidance in the sense of, getting things in detail, because words don't mean a lot of things. It could be interpreted in a lot of ways and there are a lot of images. So when I teach, I realize that for me, it was a confusing scenario. People just understood and therefore sometimes with lack of guidance, I took more time. So here I'm very patient with the students and
Good.
there's a spark in everybody, absolute spark in everybody. Their doubts are even more brilliant ways
That's
to
good.
work that spark out.
The last question. You have volunteered for stray dog safety.
Yes, sir.
That has been sometimes posted as a menace also for the society. So, and the menace created by the pet dogs, because some of the pet dogs becoming violent. So what are the don'ts for the citizen under the legal provisions?
I'm sorry, sir, what are
What
the
are the don'ts
don'ts?
for the citizen so far as the safety of dog is concerned? That while you are making their life safe, not to endanger the humans.
Sure, sir, sure.
And what is the responsibility? Yes.
So, sir, with responsibility, we have to ensure vaccination drives, sterilizations, spay and neutering, ensuring that they are fed in designated spaces and in time, so that they interact less otherwise. And well-fed dogs are less aggressive. So, volunteering provides a management solution. So, in a way, if one is more aware, and if they just assume that it's not a responsibility, but a free health insurance policy, because if we feed them and if we vaccinate them, they'll bite us less and our streets will be safe and rabies will also be less. So
Well, there are pros and cons, because whether we have that kind of resources, whether we have that kind of infrastructure. Okay, that's all. Thank
Sure,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
You have studied in Sri Ram College of Commerce. Who was Sri Ram?
As far as I can recollect, sir, he was an industrialist and he also got this bank, Sri Ram's bank. I cannot recollect much, sir. I'm very sorry, I'll brush this up.
No wonder. You mentioned something about, you have a hobby as Surya Namaskar.
Yes, sir.
What exactly it is?
So it is sun salutation with 12 steps. It helps to bring vitality in one's body, flexibility, and increase metabolism and digestion. And one says that if we take the sun's energy, that makes one very confident and one very energetic. So it's a way to tap into the sun's greater energy, into the small minuscule of human being that we are.
So if you remove sun from this earth, do you think a human being will survive?
It's hard to say that because sun is the source of energy for everything, and everything other what we see is a manifestation of the sun's direct energy. So it might be very tough to sustain life in that sense.
Do you ever travel in the metros?
Yes, sir.
In metros, if you travel, a very important message is conveyed regarding environment. Are you aware of it?
I'm sorry, sir. I must have. It's not coming to my mind.
Try
sir.
to see it. It says you are saving 529 carbon footprints.
Interesting.
See?
I have not
This-
seen, sir.
So there is a method by which if you use more metros, rides, so
It's written on the metro.
it comes. It comes
On
as
the
sometimes as a
screen.
sticker, sometimes it comes when you see in a mobile,
Okay.
sometimes it is also on the small ticket which you take.
Okay.
So it varies.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I'll
Anyway.
definitely take note of it.
Anyway, if you have to, suppose you are the district magistrate, this is your second choice after IFS. Suppose you are the district magistrate of a place called Dausa. You have mentioned something about Jaipur House in your address, etc.
Yes, sir.
So, if you have to introduce Dausa to the world in 3 small sentences, how will you do it?
So dosa, the thing that we eat.
No, not Dausa is a place near Jaipur.
Okay.
Are you aware of it?
No, sir.
Any place which you have visited?
I
You have
don't
visited.
travel much.
You have visited the hillock in Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Yes, sir.
If you have, suppose it is a district
Yes, sir.
or it is a place,
Yes, sir.
how will you introduce to the world this particular place?
Sure, sir. It's the place of the best sunrise in the world. It's the place of the best greenery in the world where one could revitalize their oxygen cells and feel more energetic. And it's the place to connect with your inner self.
Okay. One last question. Suppose if you were to come to Delhi from Jaipur, what route you will take and why?
Route has to be necessarily road transport, or it could be any mode of transport.
You choose?
I'll preferably I'll take a train because that will be giving less extra carbon emissions because already the train is moving, and that is more efficient in the sense of the speed. Sometimes road travels and tolls and the extra cost also, the tolls. So due to the efficiency, carbon efficiency, time and the cost, I'll choose train.
Okay, good. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah, just some quick questions to you. And the first one is, what is ABC code for the stray animals?
Animal birth control.
Yeah,
Code.
what is it all about?
It is about sterilizing them and reducing their population. So spay and neuter strategies are being followed.
Okay, any recent judgment on this stray dogs?
Recent judgments, sir, I cannot recollect.
Supreme Court giving some guidelines that the even High Court should not interfere. Anything about this?
No, sir, I cannot recollect.
Okay, not a problem. Can you define Agra into 5 cultural things?
The first thing is about the rich heritage, history, and the Mughal culture that can be visible. Next is the food of Agra, that is totally apart with respect to the sweet and the spice flavor. Other cultural heritage is about the fact of the current traditions. So Surdas was born there. So it's about the spirituality. And the next is about the modern spirituality in the sense of Radha Swami movement. So modern and traditional spirituality is there. And the last is about its budding culture where metros are also coming. So it's that sense of technological culture that is also following there.
I was having Taj Mahal in my mind, the first option.
Mughal, I said,
But
sir.
yeah,
Mughal.
you summarized it into this Mughal architecture. Okay, my third question is about any Kathak gharanas around your Agra?
So generally in Agra we follow the Gwalior Gharana.
Okay. And what is this Kathak like? Can you just describe me what exactly are the steps of Kathak? Like while you will be doing your cultural studies, you might have seen that Kathak had many proponents. Some styles are there. Any ideas of the styles of Kathak?
So there are two distinct styles. So when it came in the initial time, it was in the Hindu traditions. Then the Mughal tradition also came. So due to this, the footwork that became a major focus and facial expressions. And then some mudras where some lay beats like ta tsai thei tatsa a thei thei tat. That is the most common prominent
And
footwork.
what is this mudra says like in Kathak? What is this mudra if someone is doing like this? Does it have any meaning in Kathak? You showing a palm to someone, does it mean anything in Kathak?
Generally we do it like this.
Okay. Okay, like this.
Yes.
What does that mean then?
This is the standard posture of like going ahead with...
Does it have a relation with Buddha's style of showing palm? Any relation?
That's an interesting thing to think over. I did not think about this interlinkage, if it has a linkage with the Buddha style.
Okay, just the last question about geographically Agra. Like when you go to Agra, it's somewhat terrain is also mountainous also. We have some sort of Aravalli's linkage also passing through Agra. Why do you feel like Agra still has not come onto that platform? Cleanliness is not as good there. It's not as a clean city what I see. And geographically also when I see like a lot of things could have been done with Agra. Your father into business also. Like what do you propose for Agra can be done so that it is there onto the international level, not only for Taj Mahal and tourism but other things also?
So for international level, Agra, one thing that is already happening is the bubble barrier technology, which is the first in India. Initially it was in Germany. That cleans the river by reducing plastic waste. And that is happening in a very non-invasive way. No extra sheets, no extra wires. It is only through natural bubbles that happen in the water. They collect away the plastic and bring it to the separate thing. That model should be extended everywhere in India, especially for the river pollution part.
Has it started there?
Yes, sir, it has started, sir. Not in Yamuna, but the Mantola banks near the sewage, small rivulets, not the main river. We are testing it there currently.
Okay.
This is one thing that is the best part. Also, the one district, one product model, which is with the leather work, that should go to a larger scale because when it comes to leather and footwear, India doesn't have a luxury brand. And that is because the skills, the workforce, the skill, they are not appreciated or seen at that stature where the European skilled workforce is seen. So that is why they train themselves also less and the demand and supply factors are working in that sense. And the handicrafts, because Taj Mahal area is famous for that. So we can take these three steps to the international level by working on them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanishi, your formal part of the interview is over.
Okay, I begin your feedback. You are an extremely good candidate. We see you are very well prepared, you are very well read, large diversified knowledge. Indian Economic Services interview, how much did you get? Can you share with us?
Yes, sir. Sir, it was out of 200. I got 140.
Okay, pretty good. 70%. That's very nice.
So I think I was lucky that day, more than the...
Okay. This will raise a little bit of eyebrows and surprise among the panel. Why you are choosing foreign service as number one, knowing fully well, coming from the Indian context, Agra and JNU and Delhi University, is IAS, which is number one. So you need to add one or two more. Cultural diplomacy is perfectly fine. Diplomacy is more than cultural diplomacy. Diplomacy is use of power to promote your own interest.
Yes, sir.
You know, by neutralizing an adversary or getting in tango with somebody else. So it's much bigger. I have heard this, many candidates also choosing for IFS, and they have given me this idea which I want to share with you, that India's profile will go up in a big way in next 30-35 years.
Yes.
Today, 5th largest economy, in 3 years, 3rd, and soon thereafter it will be, one to be counted among the 3 biggest. So it's a very solid argument which you can carry with you.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
On economics, which is your core subject of knowledge, you are pretty well read. You also need to pay attention to a little bit coming to conclude on a big picture scenario rather than drawing your conclusions only from economics.
Yes.
Political economy is what I was referring to, and it is now a current topic.
Exactly.
Capital is being used disproportionately by those who have, like Elon Musk,
Yes, sir.
who also is being created that he has influenced Trump to come back.
Yes, sir.
It's well understood. Capital does play a huge role, thereby neutralizing the equality of each one vote, one
Yes,
person.
sir. Exactly.
So there is the impact of political economy coming in. You can read on that.
Sure, sir.
And just to conclude, you are an excellent candidate. You should do very well. Just listen to the question carefully. What is the panelist wanting to ask you or to take you towards, in what direction? You need to understand the questions exactly correctly. Your answers will be perfect. You are giving a good answer. Occasionally there seems to be a communication gap.
Yes.
Yeah. So just pay attention fully. Devote yourself to the question being asked. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Tanisha, you are articulate. Even the difficult questions, you can come up to the expectations and you formulate it well.
Thank
So
you, sir.
that is a positive sign. So far as your hobbies are concerned, if you have given it, it acts as a double-edged sword. It cannot be casual. So if you have given a stray dog, so that you have to be thorough on that,
Yes,
because that
sir.
gives you a good opportunity.
Yes.
To grab the opportunity, you need to be thorough.
Yes.
So that doesn't let it go. Like a mentor, you were, but that your answer has to be crisp and short.
Yes,
It was a bit lengthy.
Yes, sir.
So, but your points were all right. Coming to the economics subject, tax buoyancy is something that you should be very much
Yes, sir.
aware of. I mean, it's unpardonable
Yes,
as an
sir.
economics student. So you should be aware of rest of the points you have dealt with. In current deficit account, or say in the case of devaluation of rupee, why it happens in a common man's language is the demand for dollar in India is more, or the demand for rupee in USA is more.
Yes.
That is a simple
Yes, sir.
correction
Exactly,
that
sir.
will clinch the issue. I mean, your
Exactly.
answer will be absolutely true.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter you can develop the whole thing,
Yes.
the whole theory on that, which we haven't asked you many things on economic front also in the current affairs, but I think that you must be aware of all those things. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tanishi, you are extremely good at what you try to portray. Only one thing is there, at times it seems you are rushing through actually. So there has to be a little slow down there. That is one. Certain things which you don't know. Because suppose you mentioned Jaipur. I had asked about dosa. Dosa is in the news because it is becoming an interjunction for very many highways to branch off from there.
Okay.
It will go to the economic capital of India, that is Mumbai.
Yes.
This side it will be Delhi, etc., etc., etc. So it is developing in a different manner. It's a developmental this thing. Mr. Gadkari keeps on mentioning about it.
Okay.
And it's highway projects, etc., etc. So this has been done there. So it is just a
Yes,
contemporary thing which is happening. Not a very major thing, but
Yes, sir.
From that point of view.
I will check of such things also.
one more thing. It is an advice. You are from a product from JNU. There could be some questions related to JNU regarding the political profile and how it is shaping up to student, activities.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So keep that in mind. As a caution, don't take definite sides.
Okay, sir.
You can say predominantly it is this,
Okay.
otherwise, this tendency is there.
Yes,
so
sir.
you should take a care.
Sure, sir.
Otherwise, things are all right. Your eye contact is also good. and you should do extremely well. That is my hunch.
Just keeping fingers crossed, waiting for grace.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think this is your last attempt, I
Yes,
feel.
sir, yes.
So you have to be very much confident also. Like you are confident throughout the interview also. Like as I said about the eye contact, you have a very good eye contact with the person you are trying to converse with. But like others could be felt left out there. Like with me, you had a great eye contact, but not with sir, not with sir. So they might feel left out of it. So you can just try to have maybe a seat towards them also.
Sure, sir.
And yeah, this sure sir thing. That comes many a times. It looks innocent, but since it is your last thing that you are going to do there, you can just minimize on it. Definitely, like sure we have been, like I've been noticing that since every question came through. That may not, that become redundant then. So you can have definitely, of course, like you can keep on answering and sure sir could be somewhat minimized. Third thing is like you have this 123410 written in your mail ID and etc. things what I can file. They can put you through certain questions that we might not have asked even today. So you have to be very abreast with it, and your current affairs I think needs a great brush up. What I have felt through, judgments you have to see, and very important things have been going on. So if you have written Kathak, like they could be even Zakir Hussain Saab could be there in your interview. Maybe he's not from Kathak, but then culturally he could be there somewhere around. So you have to be very much abreast with this current affairs. I think that is going to do well.
Thank you. Now, Tanisha, I'm just a little hatke. Now, on the day of the interview, will be dressed like that, or will
No,
be
sir,
traditional?
no, it's a
Obviously,
sari, sir.
actually. So obviously traditional for you, because
Yes,
you
sir.
practice a little bit
Yes, sir.
with that traditional dress, etc. And properly attired because it will be cold. Because that you have to sit outside a little bit.
Yes.
And they will take it inside and all that. Secondly, yes, the sheer sari is actually a little jarring on the ear. As if since they came in you probably so many times because you are not doing it consciously. It is just coming out reflectively. So you have to practice a little bit before a mirror and you note down, we got to record it so that this thing, because it's not nothing polite, it is just reflectively coming out. Now Sarah said JNU politics because Tukde gang and all that sort of things are happening. I mean, there's so many things that happen. So be very careful. These are all get into a loop line for the main line. So just be absolutely neutral, because this is any JNU student, could be a kind of blind spot or something. So just careful on that. And so the other subjects are concerned, you are quite absolutely ready, and you are so very pleasant. Main thing you are very pleasantly saying, but speed a little. This thing. But you will do very well. I mean, there is no reason why you should not get in this year, depending on your written, of course, what you have done on that. But no reason why you should not get in. I mean, this we hope and we pray that you get in, and
Thank
all
you
the
so much.
best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
One thing I forget. Once you are coming in, it is not necessary for you to wish everybody.
Okay.
If the chairman, generally there will be 5 people. In the proper, in the UPSC there will be 5 people. Generally the person who is sitting in the chair, straight when you enter the room, who is sitting on this, chair, the others are following that, right?
Yes.
You can think he is the chairman.
Okay.
Now, you address him or her. If she is a C, say good morning madam or good afternoon madam, depending on the time of the day. Then, if male members are there, then you say good morning sir. Okay. That's all.
Okay.
And come and wait for the instructions to whether you sit or you don't sit. Okay.
Sometimes they do take a little time to request you to sit down. They do it deliberately.
See.
So don't be in a hurry to just sit down.
Okay. And if he's a male, good morning, sir. There is no female in that. That's the end of the matter. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So just one last question, if I could ask. So about the IFS only, I also had this role model thing, if I could say, that S. Jaishankar, he also got the nuclear deal for 2008, and that was very phenomenal and unparalleled. And for him, even his ideal is like Lord Hanuman, and in his book also he's been talking about it, how he learns diplomacy from there. and I also resonate closely with that. So can I speak such a thing there, or
I would say not to bring in individual personalities. I mean, look at the role of Bismarck in unification of Germany, role of Cavour in unification of Italy. There have been, such seasoned people.
Okay.
There are many things to be learned. But you can generally say that this is a fascinating area and the profile of India is going up, and
That's
you will be
second
able
part.
to meaningfully contribute.
Okay.
That is
These
solid.
2-3 arguments are enough, not the extra part.
Yes,
Okay.
these should be perfectly fine.
Sure. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
All the best
Thank
to
you
you.
so much.
All the best.